Hi everybody, welcome to another Witchdoctors DIY Garage where we show you how to do it so you can save some money. Today we're going to show you something a little bit different. I know most of you guys are used to watching me install parts and show you different things on your Victory motorcycle. But today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to help you out with some, I want to say a little behind the scenes type thing maybe. What I have up here on the screen is a website by Polaris. What this is called a parts Fiche. Now some of you guys may know exactly what this is and other ones may know part of it, and some of you may have no idea what this is. This is the way that you can look up parts for your bike. So we're going to show you how to do this. Now the login, the URL you put in, I'm going to put it up here for you. So you can copy this and then paste that into your browser so that you can find this website real easy. It's not hard to find, but there's a lot of them out there and they're really confusing and they're trying to sell you all kind of stuff. And if you don't know what you're doing, they're very confusing. So paste this link here into your browser and click enter, and then you should get this website is what should come up for you. So the first thing you want to do is product line. Obviously we're doing Victory. So you just click that box and click Victory and your year. Put the year your bike in. So we're going to work on a 2012, and then you go to model and we're going to work on a cross country. Okay? You click that. Now you get this whole list here. Now this looks pretty confusing, but actually it's pretty easy. You just have to take your time. One other thing is, if you already know your part number, you can put your part number in up here and click the find, and it should find it. I will tell you that a lot of times this works well, and a lot of times it does not work well. You can put the exact part in there and it will not find it. So keep that in mind. But what this is a listing of all the different systems on your bike. So you have the chin fairing, the dash, the inner dash, decals, fairing, and it goes all the way down through electrical, engine, transmission, steering, suspension, wheels, everything. Everything for your bike is in here. So you just have to kind of know the system you're working on. So let's do something really simple, and let's just start out with the chin spoiler. Okay, so you want to click that. And this is the breakdown, and this is the type of stuff that the actual Victory dealers, this is what they use. So this is a breakdown of your chin spoiler. Okay, front, obviously facing the front. There's your side panels, your center grille. This is the little cover over the starter. Okay, now what you'll see is all these numbers on here. All these numbers correspond to over here. Okay, so if we look up number 6 here, you find number 6. Here's the factory part number right here. So if you were to order this part from Victory, this is the part number you would give them. Okay, and then it says fairing, chin, front. One thing I can show you, a little trick, move your mouse over this line, and right there you see the mouse change. Click that and drag that over. Okay, this will help you a lot. Helps you see better. This will also tell you how many you need. Now obviously this part 6, the chin spoiler here, you only need 1. Now what usage is, if you click that, it'll bring up another screen. It'll tell you all the years that use that part. So from 2010 all the way to 16, these are the bikes that fits. So cross roads, cross country, you're going to see Magnum in there, all that. Crossroads Classic, cross country touring, all that. And then here it gives you the same category that we're in right now. It gives it to you over here. So if you arrow back, this will tell you everything. Now this little shopping cart I'll show you, it really doesn't work. A lot of the websites, this will pop up and tell you what the cost is. They don't give you any of that in here. But what it does let you do is you can print this out up here, and you can take this to the dealer or keep it for reference later on so you know your part number that you want. Okay, so this is a really good thing to hang on to. Now, the way, let me move this line back over here. The way this works is this references this, but when you look at a parts fiche, you also have to kind of understand how stuff goes together. So this bolt goes through this washer up into this part. These bolts go here. This bolt goes down here. So it also shows you how stuff is assembled. So let's say you take this fairing off your bike, you come back a week later, you got a box full of bolts and washers and a bunch of pieces, and you say, which bolt went to what? Well, it can drive you crazy. If you come here, you can get a general idea. Now, it does not give you the size. So like number 1, it doesn't give you the size of that screw. They don't offer that. Most of the time, the dealer can't even tell you what size that is. Okay, but what you can tell from the picture is this is a pretty big bolt with a longer section here. This is a pretty small bolt with a small section. This bolt looks like this bolt. It'll also tell you that you need 4 of them, okay, over here. So when you put all your bolts out on the floor, you can say, well, I got 4 of these bolts. They look pretty big. They're long here. That's probably that bolt. So that's how you can, put stuff back together. Also works the same way if you want to know how stuff comes apart. So if you want to look at this piece right here and you say, how in the world does that come out? I see these 2 bolts here. I took them out and the spoiler still won't come off. What in the hell's going on? Well, you come to this parts fiche and you see there's 2 bolts underneath that's holding that on. So that will help you all, taking stuff apart as well as putting it back together. So this website here is a tremendous asset to you guys that work on your own bike, or you just want to look up some part numbers. So let's get something that's a little bit harder. This is pretty simple on how this goes together. Let's get something a little bit harder. Let's say drivetrain. So let's get in the transmission, and let's get into right here, the transmission. So we click on that. Now that gives us the inside part of the transmission. We're going to drag our line over. Okay, so we can kind of see what we're doing here. Now, what this is the shafts, and it should probably tell you it right here. Counter shaft, common counter shaft, gear, okay. What this is this is also the real nice breakdown of how stuff goes. This is when you get into trouble, when you start taking stuff apart and you have it all laid out on the bench. If you miss something, you drop something on the floor, you can come back and say, well, this gear goes on first or last, whichever way you're looking at this here. But you would have a gear and then a couple clips of washer, seals, whatever this stuff is, then this one, then this. That's how this whole thing is assembled together that way. And you have to assemble it in each step. For instance here, number 10. Look over here, that's a thrust washer. Okay, so thrust washers are normally kind of small. You have 2 of them. Now you look and you say, well, this part number is the same as this part number, and I have 2 of them. Does that mean I have 4 of them? Well, that means you have 2 here, and it's probably maybe listed somewhere else. I'm not positive without looking through all this, but Victory will do that a lot of times. You'll see the same part number over and over and over again. I don't know why they do that. That's beyond me. I'm not sure why. But with the schematic's pretty much always right. So you could say, well, I don't know that the thrust washers go here or did they go here. This picture will help you. It's shaft, thrust washers, gear, clip, gear, all that stuff is how that goes on. So the one thing that's real common right now that guys are talking about all the time, you have the shaft on your shifter, the little round where the little arm is that your shift link connects to. It leaks all the time. A lot of guys have a problem with that. Now there's some simple fixes for that, or if you need a seal. We carry the seals on the website, but I'm going to show you how to find that yourself. So you say, I got a seal there, it's leaking. I don't know what the part number is. I don't even know what it's really called. So you just have to start searching around in here. So when you start looking, you'd start and say, well, it's on the engine. So you say engine, air intake, cam chain, crankcase bearings, which one is it? I don't really know. So you could say, well, it's on the transmission side, so let's try that. So you'd look at drivetrain, primary drive. I don't know, let's click that. Okay, well, here's some stuff, your pictures, but it's not really showing you that seal that you need down here. So that's probably not it. This is showing you, all these lines right here are showing you that this all goes in here, goes this way, and then goes into the motor. This one goes all in here and goes into the motor here. So we're really not on that seal. So you say, well, it's on the clutch side, maybe I can get a little closer. So you do the clutch side. We're basically looking at the same picture we just saw, but now all these pieces here make up this piece. So and this is kind of hard to explain if you're not a mechanic and you don't understand this stuff. This piece right here includes all these pieces. So if you look at this gear thing right here, that's what you're looking at here. This stuff, this plate number 13, is actually this plate right here. So all this clutch discs and floater plates and all that stuff is inside here. So once you assemble this, then you take this, you slide it on the motor, and then this is the nuts and bolts and stuff that holds it together. So that's still not showing us our seal that we need down here in the shifter spot. Okay? So it's just kind of a trial and error until you learn this a little bit. So we're going to go back down to the engine. We go down through and we say side covers right here. Let's take a look at that. Side covers. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we have the side cover. We look down here. This is your cam gear cover. This is your belt cover. Okay? This is your primary cover. So that you start looking, where's your shifter seal? So all these number 15, 14, these are all bolts. Okay, we're not working up here. So right in here must be where that seal is. So we look at 4 and 3. So that's where we're at. So you drag your side over. You go to number 4, needle bearing. And that's not that one. But number 3 says it's a seal. So 99% of the time, if that's what you're looking at, here's your seal. So you'll know there's a little bearing behind there. But that's the seal you're probably looking for. So number 3 says shaft seal. So you're looking for your shifter shaft. So that is your seal, 3610154. So that's the part number. You can click that. It'll bring that box up. You still have your chin fairing piece in there. But there's your seal. If you want to get rid of the chin fairing, you click remove. Okay, and then there you go. There's your shaft seal, so you can hang on to that, call your dealer up. You can search this number on Google and see who might have it. Like I say, we stock this kind of stuff, so we do, but you can see if anybody else has it. Again, print, and you can print this off to save it. But that's how you use a parts fiche. So this is a tremendous tool for you guys, different than hammers and screwdrivers and wrenches, but this is will really help you with how stuff gets assembled. Again, you can see how all the nuts and bolts go in. Here's your gasket. Here's your belt side cover. One last thing I'm going to show you is something for the body. So if we go to body, let's say fender, okay? Now, the one thing you're going to see here, these are your paint codes. So a lot of times when you guys are looking for paint codes, here they are. You can look them up. You have to do it a little bit of a different way. You have to look up a body panel, but then it'll give you the paint codes. So in 2012, because that's what we're on, if you look up here, 2012 cross country, these were your paints: 266 black, 520 sunset red, 524 boardwalk blue, and so on. Okay, so if you need to call victory, or again, we offer all these paints on our website, witchdoctors.com, but P266 is the paint code for cruiser black, P520 for sunset red, P598 imperial blue. So this is a way that you can find how to get your paint codes when a lot of times the dealers, and you ask people, they have no idea. Not putting the dealers down, but a lot of them have no idea. There you go. You can do it yourself, and it's really easy. So again, just pick any body panel, something that would be painted. You know, there you go with the front fender, cruiser black, all the paint. It's going to show you the bolts, how it bolts on. So if you're wondering how to get your fender off, here you go. The bolt goes through the fork and the nut is on the inside part of the fork. That's what this picture shows you. Another real popular one, since I see the fork here, is that you'd go, if you want to know how your forks, or let's look at your handlebars. Handlebar mounting. A lot of people ask, how do the handlebars come apart on a cross country? Now, this picture is obviously much easier than how they come apart, but it shows you the bar, it shows you the cap that holds it on. The one thing you'll notice, and in our install videos we show it, you have one bolt that goes down into the cap and the other bolt comes up from the bottom. So you got to make sure you remember that. You don't want to put them both in from the top. One goes down from the top and one goes up from the bottom. Okay, so just something else to keep in mind. But I'll show you the front forks. For you guys that want to rebuild your own forks and do your own forks, here's a good schematic of how everything goes together. So I know, and we've got plenty of videos on how to do this. When you take stuff apart, you're going to set this stuff out. We show you to set it all out in order. If you don't, you can always come back to here and look at it. Lower tube, your seals, your clips, your bushings. And this bracket here means all this stuff is sold as a kit. Okay, when it includes everything, that means 14 includes all this. So it probably says over here kit somewhere. So you go to 14, right there, kit, seals and bushings. Okay, there's the part number. Again, we carry all this stuff on our website. But if you want to look, and a lot of guys say, well, does this kit fit my hammer? You know, my hammer forks look like this. Well, you look at kit. For the seals and bushings, you click usage. Here's what it fits. Those seals fit cross country, magnum, hammer, kingpin, hammer, all down to 2010. So it does fit all those parts. So that's how you can tell what all that kit fits. So always double check with your dealer these part numbers. A lot of times they do something that's called supersede. That part number, Victory then changes to a different part number. So you may be looking for this and this part number is no good anymore. It might be the exact same part, they just changed the part number and it's called supersedes to another part number. So always verify with a dealer that the part number you have over here is really the correct part number. But again, you know, expand this out and it shows you everything, how many you need, everything. So hopefully this helps you. Again, I'll put this, here's the website that you want to put in, so you can cut and paste that into your browser so you can find this. But this is a tremendous help, a tremendous tool for you guys that are working on your bike, or guys that just want to look up some parts and see what's going on. So I hope this helps you out. Thanks for watching.